You're tuned into Visions, a business and community affairs program designed to encourage and promote entrepreneurship in Central Alabama.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Vision. Cedric Varner, excited about our guest today on the program. We're going to talk about the A.G. Gaston Conference, and we're talking with Gaynelle Jackson of the A.G. Gaston Conference. Gaynelle, thanks for being here with us on the program.
Thank you.
We're really excited. You're celebrating your 10th year of the A.G. Gaston Conference. I've had a chance to be with you in a couple of those years. It is fantastic. I've been learning a lot about Mr. Gaston because you all have been producing this conference, and it's really made me focus in. Tell us about the mission of the conference.
Well, the A.G. Gaston Conference brings together business owners, corporate representatives, community leaders, business experts, and elected officials to honor the memory of Dr. Gaston, who was an icon from Birmingham, who just happened to be black, to honor those business leaders who have found a need and filled it, to encourage other business leaders, business owners to emulate the principles and practices of Dr. Gaston, and hopefully to set the stage for the emergence of another Dr. Gaston.
That's good. Well, he was an iconic figure. The kind of companies that he produced and developed really made him a trailblazer.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, now, what is the need in the community for this type of conference from your perspective?
Well, when we started the conference, and the conference is a partnership between Robert Dickerson Jr., who's with the Birmingham Business Resource Center, and then my company, which is Advanced Planning Services. So the two of us came together to produce a conference that really would focus on African American businesses, focus on what it took for them to grow, develop, and succeed. And then we've expanded that to really try to make the conference a year-round entity that really looks at small business resources, small business information that supports our community, our business community.
And there's really a need for this information. And so Mr. Dickerson now, he is the executive director of the Birmingham Business Resource Center.
Yes.
And you actually have your own company,
Yes.
Advanced Planning Services.
Yes.
So you all came together
Yes.
To produce this. And you all have had great speakers over this past 10 years.
Yes.
We were just talking about
Yes.
that.
And it's interesting, what we tried to do, well, one of the things that we do at the conference is we always try to have major keynote speakers. So we want to give our attendees the opportunity to always hear from somebody they've either heard about, read about, or seen, but maybe not have had a chance to hear up close and to get up close and personal with. We always want to give them a chance to get cutting edge information. So in our 10th year, what we've done is to look at all of the speakers that we've had in the past and then try to bring back some of our better speakers. So it's kind of like a reunion for us.
Yeah.
Because everybody here we know or we've had before, they really know the conference. They're excited about coming back. So we really think this is going to be just a great year, programmatic-wise, networking-wise, just in general. It'll be a lot of fun, and people should come.
Yeah, no doubt. And we've got a full screen. We've got a graphic that we want people to see, that people will be able to know about the conference and what the contact information is, and the phone number is there on the screen now. And so the conference is February 18th through 19th at the BJCC. Speakers, Dr. Julianne Malveaux, the legendary economist, Dr. Mel Graves, Dr. John Butler, and of course my mentor, networker extraordinaire, George Frazier. And so we're excited. So we got the website there so people can go to it,
Right.
so they can see it. So we also want to show some photos so that you can actually see, for our viewers, you can actually see who these leaders are who are going to be at the conference in the way of Dr. Malveaux. Of course, she's done a lot in the way of economic development. She wrote a book recently. A picture on the screen there is Dr. John Butler, Gaynelle, and so he's going to be presenting at your conference. And so I think he is Director of Entrepreneurship at the University of Texas in Austin.
Yes.
Okay.
And Dr. Butler is he's a researcher.
Okay.
So he's going to speak on the history of successful black businesses and how they compare to Dr. Gaston.
Excellent.
So
excellent.
he is going to talk about. We expect him to bring real data. So so that you can look at some specific things that that successful businesses do or have done, and then sort of compare that to the characteristics and traits of Dr. Gaston.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. And our next photo, we've got Dr. Julianne Malveaux. She's going to be also presenting
Yes.
At the conference. What is she going to talk about?
Well, she's going to talk about how historically black colleges and universities impact local and U.S. economy.
Okay.
And as we're starting to look at, what education means to our communities, what education means to our businesses, just to look at where our black colleges are and then where they fit into that network.
Okay, excellent. All right, let's see what we got next coming up for us. I know we got George Frazier out there somewhere. Yeah, we got George Frazier, author of the book Success Runs in Our Race and the Power Networking Conference, the creator and producer of that.
Yes. Well, George is going to talk about, his topic is Connecting the Dots, Please, the 4 key mindsets to revive black business and wealth in the 21st century.
Okay.
And if you know anything about FrazierNet, and he is Mr. Network extraordinaire. So he is all about building relationships and how those relationships lead to success in your business, and those relationships lead to wealth creation. So he has a new book out called Click. The 10 truths to building extraordinary relationships. So I'm sure he's always inspirational.
Very
he
powerful.
Always is motivational.
Yeah.
He's our empowerment luncheon speaker, which is our closing luncheon. So you always leave on this great high after you've had a chance to hear him.
Always. And I think we may have one other photo, Dr. Gravely, Dr. Melvin Gravely, and so we're going to pull that one up for our viewers to see and let us know as we go to that. Here he is. What is he going to talk about, Dr. Gravely?
Dr. Gravely is going to talk about what it takes for black companies to succeed in the 21st century. And Mel is really the grassroots kind of business person. So he's going to give you practical information. He's going to give you the stuff you can take back to your business and use as soon as you get home. So he has a workshop he'll do on Thursday, and he's the author of several books, and they all look at how do you address different different problems in the business arena. So we really expect him to give some very pointed, specific information on what it takes to be successful.
Good. And I think since this conference is about the legendary A.G. Gaston, for those people who haven't seen him, and I've been doing a history lesson on him myself, we've got a photo of him so that you can get a chance to see who he is, and as you continue to learn. So that's Dr. Gaston on the screen there now for our viewers, and so we certainly want to encourage everybody to come out and to participate and come to this conference on February 18th and 19th. Very excited. Now I think we got a couple of other. I've been, Gaynelle, so you told me you were coming, so I started researching and trying to find my books. Now Dr. Gaston did write a book called Green Power.
Green Power, Money in Action.
Yeah. Is that like an autobiography?
It is an autobiography,
okay.
and it really kind of talks about his progression from this, in poverty with this family system that really promoted. I don't want to call it self-help, but how he sort of moved from, not having anything through this process to become to become what Black Enterprise calls the man of the man of the 21st century.
That's right. That's right.
And he, you see he has these principles, find it and feel it.
That's right.
Where he starts out looking at, what is a very simple need that he could feel, and in turn raise money and build a business, and his life is just it's phenomenal when you read about how he started and then the progression he took to get where he ended up.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, we've got one of the books that we want to show that we found even while we were doing our research, and this book is written by his niece, Carol Jenkins, and it's called A.G. Gaston and the Making of a Black American Millionaire, Black Titan. Really great read.
Yes.
You read that?
Yes.
Also, so we encourage you to do that. We've got another one that we found called A.G. Gaston Visionary. Of course, we like that name, visionary businessman. And so we found these books just as additional resources for people to research. So Gaynelle, tell us about, you've been talking about the conference, tell us about the impact of it for participants. What do you think that it's been doing since you've been having it, as far as it's really making a difference for people?
Well, like I said earlier, we really try to bring speakers so that you hear cutting edge information, the kind of stuff that you might not hear in your normal everyday reading. We try to bring in business experts who can tell you, what it takes to grow your business, what it takes, who lived it, who walked the talk, who succeeded even through bad times and good times. And then we want to give you, like I said, the tips, information, advice that you can take back and use right away. So it's not about giving you something that sounds good, but it's about actually giving you something that makes a difference in how you live your life, how you run your business.
And the other thing that I like about your conference, as far as the people who you have as speakers, they all are published authors, in that they have products that you can buy and continue your research. So they're not just making a speech and leaving, they're leaving, you can get the products that they have spoken and that they have written, so that you can continue to grow as a business person. Yeah.
And we've gotten to the point that we really try to have somebody that is an author, so that there is a book that you can, so that if you hear somebody and you really want to delve further into what they say, they've got something you can read.
That's great.
So
that's great.
And we've sort of done that. The last few years we've always had a major author that was one of our speakers.
Excellent. Where do you see is the future of the conference?
Well, we'd like to, right now we're in Birmingham, and we really would like to expand so that we really have statewide coverage, or statewide and beyond. So being able to be a part of this television show is a real, it's really exciting for us, because it gets us into some different markets. We'd like to sort of talk about the fact that this conference, and I said earlier, Bob and I are the examples of a really good, successful small business. We've been together for 10 years. We bring the right people with the right skills at the right time with the right passion together. And we want to help people see that that's what it takes to be successful. Okay. We are very happy in the fact that we walk the talk. We have been doing what we think Gaston said you should do in a business. So we found the need, we think we filled it. I think the fact that we've made it for 10 years speaks to that. I mentioned earlier we have some sponsors that have been with us for the entire 10 years. So I think that we are showing and proving that if you work hard at your craft, that you will succeed.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for us. Find a need and fill it. I like that. Gaynelle, thanks for being here.
Thank
We're
you.
glad to have you. I'm going to be there. Want to encourage those of you who are in the viewing audience to come and attend. The information's on the screen. We'll see you next time.